Today, I want to know how many of you are in a situation where you feel like you're struggling just to survive. You are living from paycheck to paycheck. I want to know how many of you are really catching hell right now. Um, and you are in a situation where you can barely keep your lights on or your gas on, or you can barely keep a roof over your head because perhaps you just don't make enough money, or you are really struggling, or you just don't have a job, or you lost your job, and you are now finding yourself in a situation where you just don't know whether you can pay your rent or your utility bills or your car note or car insurance. I just know that in Atlanta, I know a lot of people are really struggling right now. They are struggling in this place. Uh, the cost of living is high, but the wages for certain jobs in Atlanta is not very good. A lot of people like myself are being overworked and underpaid, and right now I'm just thinking of different avenues where I can earn income besides being a slave to corporate America, besides being a slave in a place that I really don't want to be at. And I'm just finding myself revamping my thinking these days about what I really want in my life and what I don't want. And I just don't want to really continue doing work that's meaningless. You know, at this point in my life, I just feel like I have so much more to offer. I mean, I feel like there's something I should be doing with my life besides being a corporate slave. And a lot of us are corporate slaves. We are slaves to your job. We are slaves to debt. We are slaves to religion. I mean, a lot of you are just slaves and don't know that you're slaves. You don't even realize that you are enslaved in this country. Um, Harriet Tubman said that I freed 1,000 slaves. I could have freed 1,000 more if only they knew they were slaves. That's how I feel. Like, I feel like my purpose is to free as many slaves as I possibly can. Um, that's why I write the things that I write. I speak the way I speak when I'm doing interviews, or doing panel discussions. That's why I am the way that I am, because I feel like I have a purpose that is higher than my slave job. You understand? And I just been doing some thinking, like some real thinking about what is my next move going to be, because I have to create other avenues of income. Working a 9 to 5 or a 10 to 6, 11 to 7, 12 to 8, or 12 midnight to 8 a.m. is not enough for me to really survive. I just have to really consider my next options, uh, because right now I need other options besides just working a job in corporate America, driving a bus. I'm just being honest, and I need other options.
Now, let's talk about earning a living. The topic that we've chosen is earning a living is unnatural. Oh, wow. How can earning a living is unnatural? Brother, I mean, you're going out there. What do you mean by that? We all have to work to earn a living so that we can eat and and go to Disneyland, once a year or whatever. Come on now, you're taking this too far. I want us to open your mind and listen very, very, very carefully. Understand where I'm coming from. I told you to listen. When you are around brothers and maybe some sisters like myself and the Prophet of Truth 88 and the Mad Head Doctor 71, don't hear what we're talking about. Listen. There's a difference. Hearing is just the sound, but listening is trying to understand what part of the hand is hitting what to make that sound. You're listening rather than just hearing. Earning a living is unnatural. Here we go. Let me I'm going to explain this to us. Let's begin with the words. We must earn a living. Living or life. Earn a life or earn your life. You must earn your life. You must pay to be alive. Can you see where I'm coming from? Earn your life. That's what you're doing. And if you're not earning a living, then you should be dead. And what do we call people who are not part of this programming, this conditioning of earning a living? We call them deadbeats. Because if you're not earning a living, then you should be dead. And those who earn a living, when we see deadbeats, when we see people who are living off the grid, who aren't doing what we're doing, we look at them strange. Why aren't you working? Why don't you have a job? What's wrong with you? Actually, it's you and me who are earning a living, because why are we paying to be alive? Woo, man. Why are you paying to live? Because that's what you're doing. And you don't understand. The deadbeat, the hobo, those who are living off the grid, those who are eating out of trash can, they are more free than you are. You have become a slave trying to earn your life, paying for your existence. And you get angry because you're working so hard and you spend all your life working, earning your living. And by the time your slave master gives you a chance to retire so that you can enjoy what little life you have, your hair has turned gray, your face has got all wrinkles in it, you got arthritis, you're having heart attacks. Next thing you know, you are dead. Every morning, people get up in the morning and the highways are crowded with a bunch of slaves trying to earn their living, pay for their life, clog up the highways, running into each other, trying to get to the plantation on time so they can pay for their life. Because the slave master said, you need an iPhone. You need the latest car. Not only are you paying for your life, but you got to have all these doodads to go along with all these things. In nature, it's unnatural. It's unnatural behavior to earn a living, because when you work, there is no animal on this planet that works for another animal. In nature, an animal only works to benefit him or herself or benefit the society, the family. Bees do not work for ants. Whatever a bee does is for the benefit of the hive. Ants don't work for bees. Whatever ant does, it benefits for the individual ant and its colony. When cats go out and hunt, it benefits the cat and the baby kittens and whatever its own family. They do not do any work to support somebody else. They do not do any work to support somebody else. But you do. And you crowd the highway. Then you want to brag about, well, my massa gave me this. I make more. My massa give me this. And you want to talk about what somebody done gave you. Your work benefits somebody else. This is how it works in nature. When you weren't even a thought in your mother's mind. You was not even a thought in your father's mind. But we're going to talk about your mother. You wasn't even a thought. But as your mother began to grow and mature, she developed breasts. I know some of y'all porn addicts, y'all really tripping because I said the word breast. Well, this is nature. Women have breasts. And her breasts filled with milk. She begins to lactate, especially when she becomes pregnant with child. Then here you come. Now, look at this. Before you even come into existence, your milk is already there. The breasts are already there to feed you. This is the same thing with the bird. Before the bird comes into existence, the trees are already here. The seeds, the worms, the insects, whatever that bird needs is already here before the bird gets here. Whatever the lion needs, it's already here for the lion. Even the plants, the carbon dioxide, the different nutrients in the soil, everything is already here for the plant. And they don't pay, you don't have to pay for nothing. You come out of your mother's womb and you go to her breast and you don't pay nothing. It's free. The bird comes into existence and the worms and the seeds and the leaves. And if you're a lion, you might have to work for it. Go chase you a deer. Go hunt you down some seeds. Crack open some nuts or whatever. But it's here. It's free for you. You don't have to earn a living. The only thing you have to do is just live your life. And in order to live your life, it's not going to be easy. You have to go find your food, find your water, and whatever that you need to do in order to survive. But you don't go to nowhere and tell them, can you give me a job? Our problem here, brothers and sisters, you live in an unnatural environment and you have a bunch of suckers who have taken over the earth, trying to and making a claim they own the earth. In the natural world, a bird, an insect only takes enough land, enough space so it can have enough water, it can have enough resources so it can live. Animals do not take more than what they need in order to survive. But you have these suckers, they live in California, but they want to claim land all the way in New York. Things of this nature. You and I, we have a right to come into existence and live our life, not earn it. But see, they have decided to own the land. You have to pay for oxygen. You have to pay for water. Because these people, they own the earth. If there was some way they could prevent bears and birds and other animals so they couldn't get theirs, they would do it. You live in an unnatural environment. And then they put you into these classes of what you can get when you earn a living. So I'm rich because I earn a lot of stuff. I'm in the middle. I'm poor. Then they put you into these classes. Can't you see that's unnatural? And this type of living wears you out. You can't even enjoy your life. And by the time that you finish earning your living with people, because you are giving your life to somebody else. You're not giving your life to your family. You're not in a crowd trying to go. You're not in a crowd trying to do something to benefit your society. You and I get up early in the morning, run to these jobs so it can benefit individuals, not your country, but certain individuals. The McDonald's Corporation, Boeing, General Electric, whoever is your slave master, whatever plantation that you go into. Now, some of these slave plantations, they might pay you pretty good. But when it's all said and done, by the time you can't enjoy your life because you have to work for your massa. And when you get time to enjoy, you can't even enjoy your family. That's why there's a lot of breakup in the family, because mother's going to work, daddy going to work, children, everybody's all separated. You can't even enjoy yourself. You can't even enjoy your life. So the love that brought the husband and the wife together, it begins to deteriorate. And the man or the woman, she's on the job as much as she is at home, and she finds another guy on her job and begins to fall in love with one of the people that she worked with, and the husband do the same thing. And the children don't have no guidance from mother or father. They just wandering in confusion, and they end up drug addicts and doing silly stuff and whatever. And you wonder why there's so confusion within the world that we live in. It's not a shock. It's common sense. Because we live unnatural lives. And this is the result. And then you turn gray and the wrinkles come in your face and you got arthritis, you have heart attacks and you're sick, and then you die, and then your slave children fight over your scraps that you left. And usually it's not no land. You're not going to leave any land because you got all these suckers. They done all bought everything. And if you do have any land, it's a little tiny piece of land. You can't grow no food. You can't raise any chickens. You can't raise cows. You can't grow no corn. You can't do nothing. Just live in a house that you pay taxes to the government for. And if you don't pay taxes on it, then the government takes your little house away. It's unnatural. The whole thing. All of this needs to be destroyed. So in your scriptures, y'all who are religious believers, the God knows this is unnatural. I make all things new. All this has to go. And the former things have to pass. All this has to go and begin anew. Just because something new doesn't mean it was not made out of recycled materials. There are many cars that you're driving right now today, but many of the materials that your new car was made came from something that was old. So it does not mean that it's absolutely new like that, but it has to be recycled, it has to be transformed. Not only the earth, the planet, you and I, we as a human beings, you have to transform yourself from out of this thing, this unnatural Frankenstein creature that we have been turned into, because we have been made unnatural. Civilization is unnatural. We are in an unnatural civil situation. And that's why instead of being beneficial to the planet, right now in the condition the human being is, we are a detriment. It is better that we are destroyed or go extinct. And then once we are out the way, being so destructive and unnatural, you'll see the balance of the planet come back. I would like to first begin by making a confession that indeed I am so envious and jealous. Oh yeah, I'm envious and jealous of some of you. Yes. Uh-oh, I know what he's getting ready to say. He's envious and jealous of Minister Farrakhan. He's envious and jealous and a hater on Sarah Seti and Polite and Sadnetta and King Noble. No. Such is not true, but no, no. Actually, it's more simple than that. I am envious and I am jealous to a certain point to brothers who are fathers, sisters who are mothers, brothers and sisters who have come together and decided to unify their love within the ritual of what many call marriage. I love to see a beautiful, dark-skinned family. And no matter whether we like President Obama or not, we see this black man and his wife and his daughters. They are a beautiful black family. And in the public, you don't even see any type of conflict in their relationship. But I have known and I've been around those who have children. And this is not even to say there are brothers and sisters who are not under the umbrella of this ritual called marriage. And yet, when you see their family, it is a beautiful, I don't like to say the word thing, but it's very beautiful to see. And I am jealous and I am envious because at one point in my life, I would have loved to be, and it's not too late, but I have decided I do not want children. I do not want to bring babies into this racist, wicked world and have them face what we as a people, the descendants of slaves born in America, what we face day in and day out. They should have a better place to come into this world. So why would I put that burden that has been placed on me upon another human being? I'm not going to do that. On the other side, I see that it is so jealous. I mean, not jealous. It is so selfish that you would do that to somebody else. And it's an evil thing to me. And you sit around. You bring these children, these babies in the world, and you do absolutely nothing to help their journey. You just want to sit around. And it's all about you. This goes to show you that you are not a real parent. Because when you become a real parent, it's not about you. In nature, the birds, the bees, the ants, when they become an adult, it is no longer about them. It is about what comes after them. And all their work, everything they do, goes into what comes after them. But we don't look at it that way, and we call ourselves parents. Because in reality, you are not a real parent. Because a real parent, your energy, everything about you, it goes into these babies to secure a better future, to make sure that they survive. So as dark-skinned people living in America, what are we doing to make sure that our children survive? I don't have to worry about my children surviving because I'm not going to bring them here to struggle. So I don't have that to worry about. But many of you have decided to do that. And you have this attitude, well, if they make it, that's cool. If they don't, then that's cool. You are so, I don't know what to call you except evil that you would do that to another human being. We have a right, and I advocate, we have a right to do whatever you feel with your personal body. You can have sex and lay down with John and Jake or Muhammad or Lisa or Najee or whoever that you want to play games with your body with. That's fine and dandy. As long as you're not spreading disease and causing problems, you can do whatever. Who cares? However, when we decide to lay down, and some of y'all say, "Oh, it was a mistake," the birth control didn't work, or however you want to say it. Now, there are other cases such as rape. That's different. We're going to talk about this personal choice that we're making. You lay down, male and female, and you produce another human being. Now you cross the line. It's not about what I can do. I have the right to do this. You have brought into existence another human being. And you have now become responsible for that life. See, one of the reasons why I decided I did not want children, because I did not want to be responsible for life. I don't mind fighting for justice for those who are already in existence, because I don't have to be responsible for you. I can fight for you if I want to, or I can choose not to. I'm not responsible for y'all grown self. You don't want to fight for yourself? You don't want, that's on you. However, when we bring other people onto the planet and we become what we call parents, it is a parent's responsibility. You must protect, you must provide for this child until this child becomes an adult. And most of y'all, unfortunately, most of us, what do I mean us? I don't have any children. Y'all have failed. You have failed black human life. You have failed us. Period. That's the bottom line. You play games. The late sister Frances Cress Welsing called the black man and woman in America, she called us, or said in her writings, that we have a childish mentality. So when we bring these new human beings onto the planet, we don't view them as human beings. Listen, we don't view our children as human beings. I sat around and I watched us in a park, bringing the children to the park and the children playing on the swing and all these different things. I was noticing the behaviors of the parents and all this. We don't act like parents. What I see is not parenting. What I see are childish human beings with real life that they are supposed to be responsible for, and they treat our dark-skinned children like toys, like baby dolls. If you look at how we play, or the girls used to play, boys have dolls too, but they are supposed to be more masculine-like. When I was a child, I played with G.I. Joe, and Batman and Robin and Superman and the Incredible Hulk. Those were the dolls for boys. And the young girls had Barbie and these other dolls for girls. And when you watch girls play with Barbie and these dolls, and then as grown women, you watch their behavior. When you watch their behaviors with the babies that they have brought forth from their wombs, you see that behavior has not changed. It's still the same thing. The same way they was treating Barbie and the little infant babies and what all these dolls they were playing with, this is how they treat their children. But a doll is a piece of plastic. A doll is some manufactured product that is not alive. And you bring onto the earth real children. And they treat these real children just like they do the baby doll. You don't expect a baby doll to learn anything. You don't expect the baby doll to respond to abuse or anything like that. And we do the same thing with these real children. Now, it's not really our fault, because we live in a society that permits this. We live in a society that does not create whole human beings. This is why so many of you don't understand or can't comprehend much of the things that I'm saying on this roster, because we have a slave mentality and we have a childish mentality. And you have children bringing onto the planet children. In this society, at one time, as part of education, you were made as a child to take parenting classes. At one time in this country, the role of the male was taught to the young boys, and the roles of the female. Certain skills was taught to girls and certain skills was given to boys, and the boys and the girls were brought together and they were taught how to be parents. But all that has gone away. So we are now living in a generational time period that goes back decades now. And the young girls have no idea of how to be a parent. The young boy has no idea of how to be a husband and a father and a parent. The young girl, a wife and a mother, that you have no idea. So the only thing they can do is treat this real life like the baby doll, like the Incredible Hulk doll, the G.I. Joe doll, the Barbie doll. And that's what you see. You don't see parents. So since there is no real connection between parent and child, that's why it's all about you. When you had that baby doll and G.I. Joe doll, it's all about you. They are not real. It's all about your needs. You don't care nothing about those dolls. Don't require anything. And that's the way we see our children. We don't look at their future. We don't care about what really happens to them. There is no way that you can have your son walk from the store with Skittles and tea and a demon shoot your baby down and you stay cool, calm, and collect. But this is how many of us do in the community. We actually stay cool, calm, and collect, and our babies are murdered in front of our eyes. There is no outrage. Just like there would be no outrage if somebody, well, actually, many would be more upset if you stepped on my G.I. Joe or you ripped my Barbie doll dress. You would be more upset because somebody hurt your doll than your actual real child. So you see mayhem and chaos in the human family, in society, and the first thing idiots want to do is blame the black woman because she's single. That's not the problem. The problem is the society itself that is not nurturing human beings so when they become parents that they can parent and create another human being. Because how can you teach? How can you bring forth to another person what you don't have? I will say that again. How can you offer a child what you don't have? You were not raised by a parent, and your parent wasn't raised by a parent. It's all touch and go. And there is this, so you're surrounded by human beings. Their very creation has been stifled, stunted at being a child playing with dolls. All over social media. And you see this. Childish behaviors. Infantile behaviors. Immaturity. This is a result of improper parenting. Improper nurturing of human beings. And this is allowed to happen because the powers that be don't give a damn about you as long as you can be used as a slave. A slave at McDonald's. A slave at some factory. A slave. Go to 9 to 5 and work your butt off. Die at 65. Who cares? Just keep making more slaves for us. But nowadays, it's getting to the point where there are too many slaves. So now the powers that be, how can we kill them? How can we murder them without looking like the bad guy? So in religion, it teaches us that you walk in the valley of the shadow of death. And you do fear evil. And you lock your door. You lock your car door. You carry a knife and you carry a gun because you walk in the valley of the shadow of death and you do fear evil. Accept reality. Understand what has happened to us. I want to thank you so much. Because like in religion, we say, if I am blessed to live to the end of this year, this ministry, the Realities Temple on Earth, I will have been on this media, social media, 10 years. And I thank you so much. Many of you have been with me on this journey for, if not the whole 10 years, very close. And of course, one of the first things my critics, my haters, those who hate me for whatever reason, I have not done anything to these people except express what I call real truth. But of course, one of the first things they will say, well, you've been on YouTube 10 years. What have you accomplished? It's not about me accomplishing anything. It's about me bringing a message. You can either accept that message or you can reject that message. For many persons, they have decided to reject the message, and that's all well and good. That's fine and dandy. However, there may come a time when something happens and you will be reminded and you will remember the time when this brother stepped before a camera all by myself and I told you we should do this and we should do that, and you would not listen because you are hooked on phonics. So we make choices and we must suffer the consequences of that choice. And I want to talk about myself just a little bit before I bring conclusion to this commentary. I want to say that for the people of soul, of whom are nothing, we are nothing in the eyes of the world. Nobody wants to listen to us. Nobody cares nothing about what we have to say, what we think. Nothing but a group of slaves. But upon this media we call the internet, now we can come out and we can make something of ourselves. Even though we didn't go to college, even though we don't have much education, even though if we went out on the street, nobody would listen to us. But we can come on social media and we might find an audience. And in essence, that's a beautiful thing. Being on this media since late 2007, I have seen soul brothers and sisters come and go. I have been here probably longer than many people. I don't remember Sonetta TV when I first came to social media. I don't remember. There was no Brother Polite. There was no Tommy Sotomayor. There was none of these persons that exist right now. None of them existed. But you had myself, of whom even to this day I'm not a real very good video maker. I'm not that at all. But there were brothers and sisters who had information for us. That was the technology. They knew how to use the technology and the filmmaking. You thought that you was watching something by John Singleton or Steven Spielberg or something. These brothers and sisters had good information and their technical skills was wonderful. And unlike myself, because I do talk about pink people don't like how I talk about them. They did not. They just offered us historical type information and YouTube flagged them off. So many brothers and sisters, they left voluntarily because they could not handle the stalking, the harassment, the hate, the jealousy, the trolling. They couldn't handle it and they disappeared. And of course, Google, YouTube terminated I don't know how many brothers and sisters. It's a wonderful thing. Brothers and sisters with no real training, you watch them build up their YouTube channels and they sound like professionals. They sound like they went to these schools that teach us about journalism and photography and whatever. It's, to me, I love it. It's not even about the fact whether I agree with what they're putting out or this. It's just a wonderful medium. I'm glad that everybody's voice has a chance to be heard. But now, the bad side of all of this, you have a group of us who want to talk just for the sake of talking. They really have no information, and they just talk just to hear themselves talk. And you have other people who give them a listen, but they really have nothing to this. They have nothing to offer. It's nothing but entertainment value, and we get caught up in entertainment when we are in a situation where our lives are at stake. Going to jail is not funny. Being shot by the police, being killed by police is not funny. But you have all these voices, and they silly. They offer nothing. We get caught up into the entertainment side, and we think that black liberation, we think that the civil rights movement, we think all this is entertainment. It's not. People died. People suffered. They sacrificed. It's not entertainment. There are those on social media, I don't care what you say, they are going to be there. I don't like it. That's wrong. You are cool. I don't care what you say. I don't care what you do. You're not going to be able to please them. And what have they done? What are they doing? Absolutely nothing. If it was not for social media, many of you would have nothing to say at all. Period. I know for a fact, because I come from a school where there was no social media. Whenever you wanted to talk, you had to talk in people. You had to talk to people in person. And many of you would be quiet. You have nothing to say. But because you can sit at home in front of your laptop, you can hide your face, or maybe you can show your face and you can run your mouth. Now you can do it. But if it was not for the internet, you would have nothing to say. We would know nothing about you at all, period, whatsoever. Because you would not be willing to do the work to make a name for yourself. But on the social media, just put your face on YouTube or Facebook or whatever and circulate yourself. It's easy to do. And next thing you know, we become arrogant. We get a big head. That's the next step. So there are many brothers and sisters, soul brothers and sisters, lost out of their mind. They think they are more than what they are because you have other persons. And mind you, also, and I want to make this clear, there are some who buy subscribers. You can buy subscribers, you can buy views to give the illusion and make yourself like all these people are listening to you. I'm very sure, maybe not now, but when people like Tommy Sotomayor and some of these other people who some of y'all might think are big, when they first got started, and they probably still do, you can buy subscribers. You can buy views. I had a listener of mine. They created a channel and they bought subscribers and they bought views. I'm not into that. If you don't want to listen to me, so what? If I get 2 views, that's cool. If I get 20 views, that's cool for me. I'm not going to buy anybody. I'm not going to make myself look like something I'm not. In fact, I'm very sure that I'm getting more views and getting more subscribers than what I really have. But of course, you know that Google hates my guts. They can't keep me off YouTube, but they can manipulate just the same way that you can buy views and subscribers. YouTube, Google can unsubscribe your subscribers, and they can manipulate your viewer count. Because really, when you look at it, It's impossible. If you look at my low viewership, how do so many people know about me if nobody's paying any attention? How do they know? Even though I have been, like I told you, on social media, in December, it would be 10 years. How do people continue to know who I am, what I'm about? Somebody told me who don't like me, they say, and they talk about me. Well, how do people know that it's me that you're talking about if you don't mention my name? How do they know me? It's the whole thing don't make any sense. But I want to tell y'all this, okay? If I thought that I really didn't have something to offer brothers and sisters of soul, I would be silent. I would be quiet. But I am telling you, I have been in this black liberation, civil rights movement type thing. I've been a part of it ever since I was a little boy, 8, 9 years old. I would protest like Michael Evans all by myself. So I don't need a lot of people to do nothing. I can protest and I can stand up all by myself. I don't need your help. I'm willing and I have done it by myself. Of course, when you can gather and organize people and rally people, that's nice. But see, some of y'all can't do nothing on your own. So the only thing you do is run your mouth and you can't do nothing except follow somebody. Look for some kind of savior, whatever that you do. But if I really didn't have anything to say and bring to this struggle, I would not say anything. I would just try to help those of whom I believe is actually doing the work, making progress, moving us forward. Not backwards, not keep trying to go into the past, moving the brothers and sisters, the people of soul, forward. But I guarantee you, if you would give this message a chance, I guarantee you, it wouldn't take no time for you to see results. You will get respect, not only in America, but around the earth real quick. And you would gain the respect of our so-called people. You would make a people out of us. We're not a people right now. We're called black people, but you know that we're not a black people. Everybody doing too many things. And that's what's wrong with social media. Too many people saying too many different things. You have to concentrate like a beam of light. Concentrate, one common purpose, one common goal, one common identity, and go forward. But you got all this confusion running around, and you really think that you can get something together. It's not going to happen. But again, there are those who are comfortable being a slave, and they want to talk just for the sake of talking. And when they get an audience, when other slaves listen to them, who are also comfortable slaves, everybody feel good. So why don't y'all just have a happy time and be slaves? Nothing wrong with it. If you want to be a slave, that's fine and dandy. Peace forever. I want to dedicate this video to all of my pastor, Christian preachers, ministers in the Christian faith, all my Christian brothers and sisters in the faith, those of whom are living now, but primarily to my elders who were pastors and preachers of the Christian faith, who have now passed this life And I hope that you are correct in your belief and that pretty soon you will join your Christ in heaven. I truly do. In fact, there are many things that is taught in the Christian religion, the Christian faith. I would really hope, although I don't acknowledge the existence of God, even though I know that the characters, the people in both Bible and Quran, they never existed in our reality. So much. Even though I know all these things, but so much in those teachings, I would really hope that they are true. I would hope that this God would come and straighten this out. What's taking so long? God, come straighten this mess out. Get rid of these wicked people. If necessary, I would be like your son. I don't mind sacrificing myself so that these can live if you straighten this out right now. This needs to come to a conclusion. It continues to go on, and the wicked continue to enjoy their spoils and continue to bring murder and mayhem and chaos to your children, to the innocents, to the ignorant. I would hope that so much that is taught in religious teaching, I would really hope that is true. But it goes on for 100 years, 200 years, 300 years. Now we are into the thousands of years. And this God has yet to do anything for us. I can imagine the slave praying to Allah, praying to Jesus, whatever that slave was conditioned. Sometimes the slave still had their original religious belief.